Hey gang, welcome back. I wanted to go ahead and provide this lesson to y'all video for those that are unable to be in the class. Most of the students will submit this, and then after they get done, I will tell them to turn it into this box. But if you're not in the class or you need to refresh your mind with what we did, there is a Google folder here. If you double click on that, it will open up the packaged things you'll need for this tutorial. And so you have this Frankenstein here and that skull. So what I did is I had my files. I'm going to go ahead and show you as if you downloaded these. You would double click it. You would select all of them if you want, and then you would just click and you would drag them into Photoshop. And if you did that, it would open them up on their own individual files. So that's exactly what I want you to do. So I have a skull here and I have Frankenstein here. This is the end result of what we're going to do, but I'm going to go ahead and revert this so you can see what it looks like originally. And boom, there we are. Okay, so first thing we're going to use a new way to move documents. I got this here. Again, I don't see my workspace, so I'm going to change that to any of these right here, and it should pop. Boom, there it is. I'm going to back. Here we go. So what you're going to do is grab your move tool. You're going to try to click and move, and it's going to say this right here. I'm going to go ahead and say convert. Now I can move it. I'm going to click, hold down. I'm still holding down, and I'm going to drag it over the word Frankenstein.jpg, which is going to open it up into here. I'm still holding down, and I'm going to release when I get my cursor in the center. Now here it is. The problem is it's not exact. I'm going to bring the opacity down to like 50 so I can see it. Now I can move it around. And I'm going to size it up. So I'm going to hit Command minus a couple of times. Yeah, right there. And then I'm going to hit a Command or Control T. And I'm going to size that to right there. That looks pretty good. Looks almost to what I need it to look like. Maybe I'll pull it in just a little. There we go. Just looks perfect right there. And I'm going to say return. And then after that, I'm going to bump the opacity to 100%. And then I'm going to give it a layer mask. I'm going to grab my gradient tool, hit D on my keyboard if I need to default to my colors to black and white, and then I'm going to hit X. So black is my foreground color. Make sure you're set to the linear tool right here, not the spherical. We're on that one. And I'm just going to start right here at the bottom of the jaw and click and drag about to the nose. And as I do that, you're going to see, give it a second, boom, it is fading into the face. Now, if I hit a Command Z and do it a little bit farther, there we go. Either one are fine. That looks good. Okay, so now what we're going to do is grab our black brush tool. I'm going to bring my flow rate down to 50. Go up here. I'm going to grab my softness, my hardness, and bring it down. I'm bringing my size up. And let's do that again, drag it up, and if I like it, I just click that little button right there. Yeah, that looks pretty good. So now if I paint, notice I'm getting rid of the background. So I'm going to go back around it, just kind of paint around the edges, just kind of, okay. The flow looks good. I'm going to bring the flow down just a little. Maybe I'll make the brush a little bit bigger. I can use my right square bracket, make that a little bit bigger. Boom. Cool. Okay. Now, there we go. I'm just kind of painting in like half of the face to be, I'm taking away. So there's that. And then I can come back here with the X and paint with white and make my brush smaller. With my left square bracket, I can start darkening in the face. Okay. And then I can make my brush a little bit bigger with and I can paint. Okay, looks pretty good. Kind of achieving that kind of skull face thing is looking pretty good. I like it. And it's looking pretty ghoulish. Actually, I'm going to come back right here. Let's bring that back and paint with a little bit of white. There we are. Touch that up just a little. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's getting there. and kind of, you can play around with this as much as you want. The idea is to kind of mesh in the two, you know, choosing what to take away and kind of play around. Now I got it, and it's looking pretty good. You can see it does all kinds of weird things. You can kind of see all these different effects that are kind of coming through. I'm going to leave it as normal. I might even, yeah, I'm going to come back here. I saw that I missed a little spot. Let me just kind of clean that up right there. Yeah, it's looking good. So there you go. Now you've created the kind of symbol, the effect. And if you want, you can go back, and if you bring the gradient back just a little, that looks pretty good. That's meshing or blending two things together. Yep, and that's it. The next part of this was the type, which you can watch the video on bloody type. And then what we did in class is we took the text tool and we made this look like a Netflix poster. So I'm going to put in Frankenstein, Command A, hover over on the text tool, drag it up. I don't see my font color. I'm going to change that to red. And I'm going to choose something that's really bold. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Maybe I go to my window, select character, and I'm going to choose this one that's all caps. There we go. So now it's, and I got to spell it correctly, S-T-E-I-N. Command A, I'm going to bring that down just a little. Or take my box and make it bigger. Yeah. Okay, there we go. So then we got the word Frankenstein there, really spelled wrong. Don't hold me to that, but let's. All right, so anyway, and then after that, what we'll do is we'll create a secondary, I'm going to say like that, click that, and then we'll create a secondary font. And so the idea of what I'm trying to create, just as a visual example, if you open up the Halloween tutorial, you will see that there is an example of this right here. Let me go ahead and click on this run right here. This is a good example. So it has, this is a HBO, we have the logo, and then this is called a type lockup. So maybe create some stuff underneath it, and look at the visual hierarchy. You got the big title, right, leading into some smaller white type, and then a third level, like the little gray type down there. And then if you look on the right, you got the rated R, and then like all that stuff that might be on the right of a movie poster. We can begin to kind of work with our type here and add that. That's kind of what I was visually trying to create here. So I'm going to bring this down in size. Command A, probably try 20, and change that to like gray, right? I can take that and then put that directly underneath it. It's looking pretty good. Maybe I'll get the Netflix logo and add it to it. Yeah, and yeah, I just want to kind of make it look as real as possible. So I'll try to include maybe a couple of logos, and then yeah, that looks like that's a really good piece, and I'd be done. And then I would save it. I'll save as, and I would choose to save it on my computer. Okay, so not cloud, but on the computer as Frankenstein _ student name. And I would choose a JPEG. Okay, then I would save it there, and then I would submit it to the box. Okay, alrighty, there you go.